Good afternoon, I'm Mai Rodriguez. Today on Newsfeed at noon, a second brush with death as former U.S. President and Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump escapes another assassination attempt. Billionaire Jared Isaacman and his crew are back on Earth after a historic private spacewalk mission. And a red carpet event as Hollywood doling out the annual Emmy Awards. Thank you for joining us. Let's begin in the United States, where the FBI is investigating what it says is another attempt to kill Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump. As Eugene Adalia tells us, the suspected gunman is in custody.
Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump escaping what appears to be another assassination attempt. The incident happened while Trump was golfing on his course in West Palm Beach, Florida.
We have somebody in custody right now. There's a potential suspect.
Law enforcement officials say the gunman was in some bushes near the property line of the golf course when Secret Service agents who were clearing holes ahead of Trump spotted a rifle barrel. The suspect fled after being fired at, leaving his rifle, 2 backpacks, and some other items behind.
Fortunately, we were able to locate a witness that came to us and said, hey, I saw the guy running out of the bushes. He jumped into a black Nissan. We were able to get a hit on that vehicle on I-95 as it was headed into Martin County. We got a hold of Martin County Sheriff's Office, alerted them, and they spotted the vehicle and pulled it over and detained the guy.
After the incident, Trump sent an email saying he is safe and well. He added, quote, "There are people in this world who will do whatever it takes to stop us," unquote. Trump was injured in an assassination attempt during a campaign in Pennsylvania last July 13. He was grazed in the right ear, and one rally-goer was killed in the gunfire. The gunman, 20-year-old Thomas Crooks, was shot and killed by a Secret Service sniper. Eugene Adalia, BNC.
Democrats quick to brush aside politics in the wake of another apparent attempt to assassinate Trump. Trump's rival, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris, says she is glad the former U.S. president is safe. Harris also condemning the incident, saying violence has no place in America. Democratic vice presidential candidate Tim Walz echoes the statement of Harris, adding the incident does not reflect who Americans are. The White House, meanwhile, says U.S. President Joe Biden has been briefed about the matter, and he's relieved to know that Trump is safe. As for Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, he says he was able to speak to the Republican leader, and he appears to be in good spirits. Here at home, Duran Duran is trending following a surprise performance at a party for President Bongbong Marcos's 67th birthday last Friday. The Presidential Communications Office says the party was thrown by the president's old friends at a hotel in Pasay after a tiring day for Marcos filled with official engagements. Bilyonaryo.com reports it was the office of the president itself that invited the country's top billionaires and politicians to the affair. The performance by the English pop rock band got many talking about how much was paid for bringing them to Manila. But the palace says it was at no cost to the government. Deliberations on next year's national budget are underway at the House plenary. Our reporter Hannah T is on the scene at the Batasang Pambansa, and she joins us for an update. Go ahead, Hannah.
The House Speaker, Martin Romualdez, delivers a stern warning as the House of Representatives begins its plenary deliberations on the 2025 national budget. Romualdez stressed that the House will not tolerate any misuse of public funds, and officials will be held fully accountable. Romualdez made clear the chamber will not tolerate hypocrisy, nor will it stand idle in the face of blatant disregard for public trust. He also added that public money should be used for the benefit of the people, not for personal gain. Today marks the start of the 8-day debate. The session began with speeches from Representatives Elizalde Co and Stella Kimbo and will be followed by discussions on the budgets for key agencies like the Department of Finance, Department of Justice, National Economic and Development Authority or NEDA, and the judiciary. The proposed 6.352 trillion peso budget is scheduled for its third and final reading on September 25, along with the period for amendments. Mai?
Hannah, when do we expect the House plenary to tackle the controversial budget of the Office of the Vice President?
Mai, the Office of the Vice President's budget is set for debate next Monday, 10 a.m. It is expected that lawmakers will discuss the recommended OVP budget cut of the House Appropriations Committee from 2.037 billion down to 733.2 million. Back to you.
Thank you, Hannah T, reporting live from the Batasang Pambansa. Coming up, we'll take you to the Netherlands for one of the most important meetings on the international tattoo circuit. A look at the yearly Amsterdam International Tattoo Convention when Newsfeed at Noon returns. Keep it here on BNC. This is Big US and it's a great opportunity.
Corina Sanchez. Pagsasamahin ng isang agenda. Mondays to Fridays, 6 p.m. only on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Health and wellness? It's experimental.
Because I like the idea of a salmon sperm DNA on my face.
Beauty? It's experimental.
Oh my God! My wrinkles, I didn't know!
Even fashion? It's experimental. We're here to dive into the trends and explore the taboos and the daring. We're not just talking about it, we're testing it. It's like our laboratory. It's the Lifestyle Lab.
That they make it very interactive, so it's not just something you can take pictures of, but can also interact with like the installation, so that makes it extra fun. I think it's very aligned with the government's like overall agenda to go green and to be eco-friendly and to encourage like greater awareness amongst the public on sustainability kind of related matters. I think it's a good start for people to get to know a bit more about how we can play our part. And via this kind of interactive installations to get people a bit more interested to find out.
Whether you have eyelight, I think the sustainable activity and movement is very important. So by incorporating it into the art piece, I think it's a win-win situation.
We're back. You're still on Newsfeed. 2 days after pulling out the BRP Teresa Magbanua from Escoda Shoal, the Philippine Coast Guard asserts the country has not given up the disputed area to China. The PCG also vows to maintain its presence in Escoda Shoal, insisting it is well within the Philippine Exclusive Economic Zone. The BRP Teresa Magbanua was pulled out after some of its crew got sick and after it was damaged in a collision with a Chinese Coast Guard vessel. Malacanang says the ship will be redeployed following repairs. The U.S. Coast Guard is set to begin hearings this Monday into the undersea implosion of a tourist submersible that killed all 5 people in June last year. The hearings will take place in Charleston, South Carolina, and are intended to uncover the cause of the accident and make sure it does not happen again. The Titan submersible, operated by Ocean Gate Expeditions, imploded while diving to the century-old wreck of the Titanic. Killed were the company's founder, Stockton Rush, British billionaire Hamish Harding, Pakistani-born businessman Shahzada Dawood and his 19-year-old son, and a French oceanographer.
Ready to rock and roll.
Our team has worked continuously in close coordination with multiple federal agencies, international partners, and industry experts to uncover the facts surrounding this incident. This tragedy has deeply affected not only the families and friends of those lost, but also the global maritime community and everyone involved in this investigation.
After conducting the first ever private spacewalk, SpaceX's Polaris Dawn mission crew, led by billionaire Jared Isaacman, returns to Earth. The Crew Dragon capsule made splashdown off the coast of Florida Sunday, concluding a 5-day space journey. The crew performed their historic spacewalk on September 12 in what NASA says represents a giant leap forward for the commercial space industry. In addition to the spacewalk, the civilians also conducted 40 scientific experiments studying the effects of microgravity on the human body and testing advanced medical technology. From one space mission to another, Boeing's beleaguered Starliner made its long-awaited return to Earth over the weekend, but without the astronauts who rode it up to the International Space Station. That's as NASA ruled the trip back too risky. The Boeing capsule touched down at the White Sands Space Harbor in New Mexico Saturday. One of the 2 American astronauts stranded on the ISS says they could have returned with the spacecraft if they were given more time.
So we had to make some decisions on a timeline. And the timeline came to the point to where we had to decide, is Starliner coming back with us or without us? And we just did not have enough time to get to the end of that runway where we could say that we were going to come back with it. I think we'd have gotten there, but we just ran out of time.
The astronauts were part of a test flight for the Boeing Starliner, which took off in June. What was supposed to be an 8-day mission stretched into months due to technical issues with the ship. Suspended Energy Regulatory Commission Chair Mona Lisa de Malanta insists the delay in the resetting of Meralco power rates did not begin during her term. The Office of the Ombudsman recently placed de Malanta under a 6-month preventive suspension for her alleged inaction in the resetting, which would have supposedly reduced electricity prices. On BNC's At the Forefront, de Malanta stressed they had been working on lowering power rates.
You're saying whatever delay there was in terms of resetting the rates of Meralco as a distribution utility, the delay didn't start under your term.
The delay has been building up, yes, and we have been trying to catch up. There's still a lot of work we need to do to making our rates more affordable, not just for our residential consumers, but also for our businesses, so that we can promote more investments in the country and we can generate more jobs. So that's still a work, very much a work in progress.
De Malanta also admitted there is a need to restructure the ERC to address the country's power situation. She said the agency does not have the manpower and appropriate functions to regulate 300 power producers operating 600C power plants. The Makati Business Club is hosting a summit on agriculture and food security. Both a priority of the Marcos administration. The event starts later at 1 in the afternoon at the BGC Arts Center in Taguig. The keynote speakers are Agriculture Secretary Francisco Tiu Laurel and Jollibee Foods Corporation Chief Business Officer Joseph Tambuntiong. The MBC says the goal of the summit is to find ways to lower food prices and encourage collaboration among farmers, cooperative enterprises, the government, and the private sector. French fashion giant Lacoste loses a long-running trademark battle against Singaporean rival Crocodile International over the use of a crocodile logo in the Philippines. This after the Supreme Court upheld previous rulings by the Court of Appeals and the Intellectual Property Office of the Philippines in favor of Crocodile International. The High Court says there are no similarities between the two crocodile logos, and it must allow companies like Crocodile International to enter the market and register their trademarks. Lacoste has been using the crocodile logo in the country since 1963, while Crocodile International began exporting its products to the Philippines in 2002. The yearly Amsterdam International Tattoo Convention kicks off in the Netherlands. Already on its 18th edition, the event brings together artists from all over the world and a crowd of enthusiasts keen to see the latest designs and techniques. The Amsterdam Convention is one of the most important meetings on the international tattoo circuit.
I think today in contemporary tattoo industry is really interesting. I've been tattooing for 14 years, so I've seen like a lot of change, and I love how it's going.
I've always really liked tattoos since I was really young, and when I turned 18, like the first time that I could get a tattoo, I did.
U.S. toy maker Mattel immortalizes celebrated Chilean author Isabel Allende with her own Barbie doll. Allende joins Mattel's Inspiring Women series, which has already featured poet Maya Angelou, journalist Ida Wells, and singer Celia Cruz. The new Barbie doll includes Allende's dog Perla and a miniature replica of her first novel, The House of the Spirits. The 82-year-old author has published dozens of books that often blend historical events with magic and fantasy. She's also a human rights activist and teacher of literature. Up next, no love lost between former U.S. President Donald Trump and pop megastar Taylor Swift. There's bad blood after Swift endorsed Trump's rival, Kamala Harris. This is Newsfeed at noon here on BNC.
The trailblazers, the disruptors, the titans of the industry.
We should safeguard our tradition.
We've got 53 sites in the Philippines, and each of those sites have been goaled to adopt a community.
Know what drives them as we dig deeper into their stories.
We're also bringing and helping medical tourism.
The government has to support these local farmers.
Industry Beacon on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel. A platter of positivity.
Good morning, you beautiful people. It's a brand new day, and you know what that means.
A cup of the hottest information.
We're ready to shake the world with fresh news.
And a slice of what to expect for the whole day.
The Vermonts are here, and they're bringing the heat.
That's everything you need to keep you going through the day. Join Paulo Del Rosario, Ann Carrillo, and Monique Tuzon. It's a beautiful day. 7 a.m. on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Right behind me is a giant piece of artwork. It's like 50 meters long. It's anamorphic, so it can only really be seen from one position. And it's of a girl holding the earth for Earth Day. And the words are vote for climate, vote for our future. And really she's smiling, so she's optimistic because this year it's the UK elections and it's an opportunity for us to make a real difference to our children's future. Because by voting for climate in mind, you're also voting for health because the air would be cleaner. We're voting for prosperity because everything's going that way now. So we really need to invest in those things. So it's a bit of a no-brainer really. So we're just trying to encourage people to vote with climate in mind and also just to vote as well this year. And that will be marvellous. So to make this picture, first of all, I had to convince my daughter to help us out, and so she's modelling here. And once we got past that, it's then making a drawing and then mapping it out. And there was a team of 10 of us. There's 10 of us over 3 days. And then we're using football pitch paint and sprayers to basically spray the image. It survived the rain a little bit, and it'll be here for probably another week, I would say.
We're back. You're still watching Newsfeed at noon. Another look at today's top story. The FBI is investigating what it says is another attempt to kill Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump. As Eugene Adalia tells us, the suspected gunman is in custody.
Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump escaping what appears to be another assassination attempt. The incident happened while Trump was golfing on his course in West Palm Beach, Florida.
We have somebody in custody right now that is a potential suspect.
Law enforcement officials say the gunman was in some bushes near the property line of the golf course when Secret Service agents who were clearing holes ahead of Trump spotted a rifle barrel. The suspect fled after being fired at, leaving his rifle, 2 backpacks, and some other items behind.
Fortunately, we were able to locate a witness that came to us and said, hey, I saw the guy running out of the bushes. He jumped into a black Nissan. We were able to get a hit on that vehicle on I-95 as it was headed into Martin County. We got a hold of Martin County Sheriff's Office, alerted them, and they spotted the vehicle and pulled it over and detained the guy.
After the incident, Trump sent an email saying he is safe and well. He added, quote, "There are people in this world who will do whatever it takes to stop us," unquote. Trump was injured in an assassination attempt during a campaign in Pennsylvania last July 13. He was grazed in the right ear, and one rally-goer was killed in the gunfire. The gunman, 20-year-old Thomas Crooks, was shot and killed by a Secret Service sniper. Eugene Adalia, BNC.
Speaking of Trump, the Republican presidential candidate is making his feelings about Taylor Swift known. Writing on his Truth Social platform, Trump said, "I hate Taylor Swift," in all caps. It's unclear what triggered the statement and what Trump could gain from the post. But to recall, 5 days earlier, Swift told her 283 million Instagram followers she will vote for the Harris-Walz ticket in November. Celebrity endorsements rarely carry much weight when it comes to the U.S. elections, but looking at how Trump reacted, Swift clearly is on a league of her own. Not so good news for scalpers looking to exploit the flat rate price of tickets for Olivia Rodrigo's upcoming Philippine concert. Each ticket, which all cost 1,500 pesos each, is actually personalized with the name of buyers. The relatively affordable ticket price has sparked online concerns about the possibility of scalpers purchasing them in bulk and reselling at a higher price. In fact, some netizens have already attempted to sell theirs for up to 10,000 pesos each. Olivia Rodrigo's show, part of her Guts World Tour, will be held at the Philippine Arena on October 5th. All net proceeds from the ticket sales will go to her Fund for Good global initiative. The award season in Hollywood kicks off with the primetime Emmys. The tension-drenched restaurant dramedy The Bear had a huge night, winning 3 acting nods. But it missed out on the Outstanding Comedy Series award, which went to HBO's Hacks. Historical series Shogun took home the Best Drama Prize, becoming the first ever non-English language series to win the award. It beat The Crown, The Morning Show, and Three Body Problem for the recognition. Meanwhile, dark Netflix hit Baby Reindeer bagged the Best Limited or Anthology Series award. And before we go, Britain's royals are keeping their family drama in check as they celebrate the 40th birthday of Prince Harry. The X account of the royal family took the lead in greeting the Duke of Sussex. It was then reposted by the account of Prince William and his wife, Catherine. Harry's ties with his family have been increasingly fraught since he and wife Meghan Markle quit royal life and moved to California in 2020. The brothers are not on speaking terms for about 2 years now, and the post from the royal family account marked the first public birthday message for Harry since 2021. And those are the news this hour. I'm Mai Rodriguez. Keep it here on BNC, the Bilyonaryo News Channel. Good afternoon.
Good morning, I'm Rain Musngi and welcome to Follow the Money. Join us as we explore the tools and insights you need to jumpstart your financial journey.
Harness the power of your money so it can take you. Where there is growth, where there is investment, where there is freedom. Rain Musngi sits down with the experts to know where your finances is taking you. Weekdays, 10:30 a.m.